heart of man is really screwed up. People don't know it, but they have spiritual heart problems and they're on the verge of having a spiritual heart attack. The reason why the world is so screwed up right now, today, is because of the fact that mankind is just full of people with evil hearts. And even if they're not blatantly just straight up evil to the power of 5,000, they still have some flaws in their heart that they can't work out, and it's causing them to be a certain way, and it's just making life on this planet difficult. Let's talk about some of these flaws of the heart really quick. First of all, I feel the need to mention the fact that in the scripture, the heart is described as being desperately wicked. And I also feel the need to mention the fact that in churches, and just people all over the world in general who are so-called Christians, they often like to cite the cliche, oh, God knows my heart. Yeah, he does know your heart. He knows that it's desperately freaking wicked to the core. I mean, you got a rotten heart, man. I would say, in my opinion, I would say that pride is the #1 illness of the heart, because with pride, you can't discern yourself and see your flaws in certain areas. No one can say anything to you, and the Most High certainly can't deal with you on it because you have so much pride to where it's literally preventing you from looking at yourself in the mirror and doing some soul searching. People with prideful hearts are often very stubborn, and they are completely incapable of discerning themselves. And that's where the whole idea of having a stony heart, the Most High, he gave Pharaoh a hardened heart. He gave him a heart of stone. And you have to have a prideful heart that is completely incapable of hearing reason from anybody else in order to get a stony heart that will cause you to be completely set in your ways. Like a bunch of concrete mix that was poured into a mold and then hardened. That concrete is set now. There's nothing you can do to that concrete. The only way you can fix that concrete is if you take it and you break it back up into powder, and then you mix new concrete mix with it. Because even then, once the concrete is broken, you can't really do anything with it. You have to trash it, basically. The only way you can salvage that concrete mix is if you mix new concrete mix within it. Pride is also one of the many illnesses of the heart that causes you to have other illnesses. See, it takes pride to even be a hypocrite, because check it out like this. You're telling this person over here that they shouldn't be doing a certain something, right? That they're sinning with a certain thing with a certain act that they take part in doing from time to time, and you're judging them for that act, but then you're turning around and you're doing the same act. Now, it's a sense of self-pride and self-worship, as if to say, well, I'm not bound by those standards and those regulations that I'm putting on other people. I don't have to abide by that. See, I'm me, and I have pride in myself. I can do it, but you can't do it. Pride is also the basis of other hard problems such as jealousy and envy, for instance. See, when you look at somebody and you're envious of what they got and you're jealous of what they got, you have a sense of self-entitlement. You feel like, man, I'm me, and I feel like me, myself, and I should have what this person has. It's not fair that they have it and I don't have it. I feel like I'm better than that person. I should have what they have. That's a prideful mindset. And you look at sins such as jealousy and envy. Those are all problems of the heart. Those breed other problems in the heart that include the anger that Yeshua spoke of in the Bible, where he talked about how if you're angry with your brother without a cause, that you're no different than a murderer. So now, you're looking at this person, you hate them, then they got everything going for them, you just can't stand them. You feel like, man, I should have what they have. And so now you're breeding all this hatred and anger and jealousy towards that person. See, it was jealousy that caused Cain to kill Abel, which was also pride too. He felt like his gift should have been accepted by the Most High, and like he should have been rewarded by the Most High in the same manner that Abel was rewarded. But when he saw that he wasn't rewarded, he got angry with his brother without a cause, and he allowed that anger to breed jealousy and rage, and then he had allowed it to turn him into a murderer. It all begins with pride, though. The reason why people become reprobate is because of the fact that they have pride and can't nobody say nothing to them. Yeah, like I said, pride is one of the many things in the heart. I think is the main thing in the heart that causes you to have a bad, wicked heart. Because you look at everything that's going on in the world today, all the wars, all the disagreements, all the fights, all the majority of a lot of the sins that you see out there is based off of people having prideful, wicked hearts that won't allow them to take a step back and discern and humble themselves and say, you know what, that's not right what I'm doing. So I'm gonna swallow my pride and I'm gonna do the right thing. Now, I got some more things that I want to talk about concerning the heart. Now, if you know the Most High, you know that He desires to deal with people who have pure hearts. And usually people with very pure hearts are humble, they are generous. And when I say generous, I don't mean generous as in, you know what, I have all this money, and so I'm going to get a camera and I'm going to film myself giving $200 to this homeless guy so that everybody can see me giving this money to this guy and look at me and see that I'm doing good and that they can see that I'm a good person or whatever, right? That's a form of pride too, as a matter of fact, because you're doing this so you can get attention from men so that you can exalt your ego. But if you were truly a generous person, you would be giving that straight from the heart and just allowing Yah to look at you and to exalt you instead, you know? And so, back to what I was saying about people with a pure heart. They are generous, from straight from the heart. They're patient, and they have a lot of really great virtues about themselves and a sense of honorability. They keep their word. They keep all their promises. They don't seek to do harm to anybody, and if somebody does them wrong, they'll be upset at it and everything, but they'll eventually seek to let it go and just allow the Most High to recompense judgment upon them. But a person with a truly pure heart, they're not going to allow a lot of the foolishness that you see in the world today to corrupt them. You know, things like money, cars, clothes, women, and the pride of life and status and all of that kind of stuff. They're not going to allow that stuff to change who they are. That was one of the many things about King David that caused the Most High to draw nigh to him and to basically treat him like his faithful servant. See, David, he was anointed to be king, right? And Saul was the king at the time, but he had such a pure heart to where even though he was anointed to be the king over Israel, he didn't get up and try to go and take the crown from Saul. He didn't try to take control over anything. He was still as faithful and humble to Saul as he could possibly be. And the Most High exalted him for it. Saul had killed his thousands, and David was going and killing his tens of thousands of enemies and Philistines and whatnot. David had killed Goliath. He killed the bear and I think the lion, and on top of that, he was doing all of this wonderful stuff. He was a skilled musician, a skilled fighter, and everybody absolutely loved David, you know? And so when you look at the life of King David, you look at the kind of person that he was the type of person that meditated on Yah's words and his laws day and night. He went out there in the field and meditated on it, and he allowed it to take root in his heart, which caused him to be basically a benevolent, what's the word? He just became an all-around righteous person for it. And now David, he did have his flaws and sins. See, all human beings have flaws and sins, but even But there you go with the heart issue again. When the prophet confronted David about the sin that he had committed, David fell on his face and said, I sinned. I admit it. I know I'm the king and I got all this status and I can do all of this stuff. But you know what? I sinned. I messed up. I admit it. I own it. It takes a truly humble-hearted person to be that way. Imagine if all of Israel, all of the blacks over here in America and all around the world had this same mindset that David had. Everybody would get along and we would truly finally prosper in this world. But because we have such malice and envy and strife and pride and all kinds of dirty, filthy ways in our heart, we can't figure out how to get ahead of anything because of these things that are going on with our heart. This stuff is basically making you spiritually sick. That's why Yas tells you to study. And that's why the scripture tells you to study to show yourself approved. And that's also why the scripture says that, you serve me with your lips, but your hearts are far from me. And that's why when you look in scripture and it talks about the covenant that the Most High is going to make with Israel, instead of just giving them some laws to keep or whatever like he did in the Old Testament, he's going to actually write his laws in the hearts of his people. See, if he write those laws in the heart of his people, then not only are they going to keep those laws, but they're going to want to keep those laws. And everything that they put their hands to, the intent of pleasing the Most High is going to be there. See, that's the problem. Many people don't realize, but your heart's intentions basically go out and help mold all of your day-to-day actions. So if you have bad intentions in your heart, whenever you do something, whether it's making food or whether it's doing something for somebody or whether it's whatever it is that you're doing, your spirit is basically going to leave a mark on whatever it is you're doing. Whatever's in your heart is going to leave a mark on whatever it is you're doing. So I feel the need to talk about this topic because I get the vibe that a lot of Israel today, black people in general today, they don't understand the concept of having a truly good heart. I mean, I see so much strife and so much wickedness in Israel, and they're constantly bringing railing accusations against one another, and so much pride and self-righteousness and pharisaical ways that you see among the children of Israel today. And it all goes back to the heart. If everybody truly had good hearts with good intentions, I don't think that we would see a lot of the stuff that we see today. Bottom line. So everyone needs to get their hearts in order. And no, I remember seeing some shirts back in the day, and I still see these shirts. I still see people walking around with these shirts that says WWJD. What would Jesus do? Now, of course, I don't believe in Jesus Christ. That's a false deity. But the son of Yahushua, what would Yahushua do? And what would you do if Yahushua was watching you? Would you do a lot of the things that you do? Would you say a lot of the things that you say right now if Yah was to materialize right there and watch you? Something to think about. Shalom.